y'all.
Hey y'all, it's Kay,
And A.
and welcome to our episode 2 of Gossip and Growth.
2, baby. We are super excited now that we're in episode 2. I think we got it together this time.
I think so. I think the nerves might be gone.
Yeah.
It might be gone.
Yeah, and this time it's just going to be a question and answer.
Q&A.
Yeah, more get to know us. Just get to know us on a little deeper level before we start getting deep with y'all.
So before we started this whole episode, video and recording, we asked you guys some questions to ask us, and then we're just going to go ahead and answer them and give our feedback and our opinion on those questions.
And get right to it.
All right.
Waste no time.
Let's see here. So we have question number 1. We just going to get right into it. They asked, what is the best advice you were given or you've ever been given?
Best advice that I've ever been given. My best advice that I think I've ever gotten was saying that, you got to get it yourself. No one's going to do it for you. I was raised, to learn how to get everything for myself.
Right.
I'm very independent. My mom and dad raised me to make sure that I get it myself. Because again, no one's going to hand things to you. And if they do, great for you. But I'm just saying, like, my best advice is go get it. If you want it, go get it. And it's just really that simple.
Because at the end of the day, you can't depend on nobody but yourself.
No, and I don't. And don't.
I mean, we accept it, but
with open arms.
She's still working on that.
Yeah, I say that now.
But yes, you got to go ahead and get your own stuff.
What is the best advice that you've gotten?
My best advice that I've gotten recently or lately will be to give myself grace. And
that's a good one.
Just not be so hard on myself and analyze things too deep. Don't start.
That's
but
sweet.
It's because I've been hard on myself a lot lately, and this one, she was the one who actually told me to allow myself that grace. Because
don't start now. I was not expecting you to say all that,
but it's true because I've been going through a self-love journey and still on that journey. And I just had to allow myself grace and, allow myself I don't have to be so strong because I'm used to being strong and being there for everybody else instead of for myself. Yes. So I have to, I'm trying to put that in there.
Yeah. So. And when you fuck up, it's okay to give yourself grace because we all, players fuck up. That's the saying. Players.
I try to keep it peace.
Ignore her.
I try to keep it peace.
Yeah.
But,
players fuck up.
And it's taking accountability of that fuck up, too, though. That's the main thing. You got to take accountability for that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Right. That was actually good one. Good job, girlfriend.
Growth.
What's the next one?
All right. Next question. We have questions on toxic relationships.
Oh, shoot.
So, Asia, have you experienced any toxicity of relationships?
Yeah, I actually have. I've experienced a couple different things. I won't go into detail. That's for a different day. But I'll give you 2 examples of a couple of toxic things that I've been through. One was a narcissist. That probably was the worst thing that I've ever dealt with.
That was like your come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, and I will never do that shit ever. I will ever do that shit again.
I was with her through that process, and I was like, Asia, wake up, girl.
Yeah, come to planet Earth, baby.
Because
it was really toxic, and I feel like you don't know what it feels like unless you're in it. A lot of people try to give you advice and try to get you out of it, but you don't know until you're in it. So when I was in it, I wasn't, I was everyone else's background noise. So toxic relationships, you don't know until you're in it, and when you're out of it,
you're like, what?
Fuck.
What was I thinking?
Yeah, what was I thinking?
What was I doing?
So it's hard, and again, give yourself grace because you don't know. When you're dealing with a narcissist or a liar, whatever you want to call them, they know what to say. They know your weak spots. They know what to do to pull you into certain things.
They know how to milk it.
So when it comes to toxic relationships, I give anybody grace when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But only for so long. So I was in it for what? About a year and
Almost
some
a year.
change.
Yeah.
Maybe. A
But
little
it
bit
was
less than that, maybe.
it was about almost a year, but it was like a traumatic situation, and I'm pretty sure your butt watching too, because you just that nosy. Anyways,
Mother trucker.
but you know, like
Yeah.
I told her, you get sick and tired when you get sick and tired, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to keep, telling you, because at the end of the day, but right now you just got some blinders on,
Yep.
and all I can do is just sit back, support you,
Yeah.
and just let you go through what you are going through, because it takes time. Just like it took time to get into that spot, it takes time to get out of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes forever.
And I mean, we have all been there. Either whether
Mhm.
you're a man or a woman, like we've all been there. There are women that are toxic. Let's not.
We know it.
We know
We
that you're
know.
toxic.
We know. Yes,
It's not
we
just
coming
men.
through.
It's not just men.
Clock that.
And so, like, when it comes to guys too, give yourself grace. Like, women are toxic. We could be crybabies. We could whine.
We can manipulate.
Yes.
We know how to milk it too. We know how to manipulate.
Yes, it's not just y'all. We got, stuff up our sleeve too.
Exactly.
Don't get it twisted.
Y'all know it.
But when it comes to that, it's not right.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not right. So I just feel like when it comes to that, like Caitlin was saying earlier, you gotta, give yourself grace in that aspect and try to pray if you believe in God or believe in whatever you believe in. You need to pray, and you need to make sure
for
that
the strength and guidance, and that Lord just give you
out of there.
clarity.
yeah, because
you can't get through that by yourself. Honestly, But,
that strength that when you're in a toxic relationship, you're not working on your own strength.
No,
like to get out of something like that. That like love is like a drug. It is one of the most powerful things. People kill each other.
It's the best
over
thing.
That.
They say it's the best thing, and it's the worst thing. And I have experienced both sides.
Don't get me the lion.
And I'm starting. Get you started, girl.
Don't get me started.
Because I had an experience in my past, the best of love, where it was taken from under me, and I'm like, what the world?
Yeah, like,
and the toxicity that's coming after that, it's some shit. Yeah, it's some shit. But we gonna get through it.
Yeah, and we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
So when we get to that point, think of this moment, because we're gonna talk more about that later.
Clock it.
That's our new thing.
We're gonna clock it. Okay. On the board here, let's see. I think soul tides. Do you believe in soul tides?
Do I believe in soul tides?
I know you do.
I do believe in soul tides. I'm such a romantic. I'm a lover girl. To the day I die, I'm a lover girl. So do I believe in soul ties? Yes. But do I believe that you can have multiple? Yes. But that's just for me.
Well, that's soulmates, and then there's soul tides.
I personally put them in the same category.
Why is that?
Because I feel like, what would you say the difference is of a soul tie than a soulmate? I feel like when I think of a soulmate, I think of my soul intertwining with them. Same thing as a soul tie.
After that.
So like I've had a couple of relationships, 2 actually, I'm gonna say 2, that I actually felt like were my person. And even when it comes to friendships, I have friends that are my soulmates. It's not just for relationships. Like Caitlin, I feel like is a soulmate for me on a different type of level. My baby Kayla, hey baby, Willie, y'all are my soulmates. Like I feel like it can be in different forms because each person can bring something different, especially when you're around each other for so long and you adapt certain traits. Like me and you are like stuck to the hip with certain things. We are soulmates, and when one of us is off, we're both off. Like it's just that's just how it is. Yeah. So I feel like it's not just a lover, but I do believe in them.
And they are, I will say, they are.
And some are stronger than others.
They are very strong. Y'all got to be careful with that. You'll have to be careful with who you are connecting with, both ways, and because you gonna gain something from them or take something from them that they've been dealing with spiritually, and it's on you. You try to shake that thing off, and it's just like, Lord,
when you're like physically involved with someone, if you want to talk about a romantic standpoint, you literally take, like you just said, everything that they deal with, you take in. So
but
like
also on a friendship level too, you know, whenever your friend is going through, and you're that close to that person, you love that person so much that you see them go through, you're kind of going through that with them, and you feel that, you know, that void or that pain that they're going through. Because like she said in the last one with that narcissist, what she was going through, I was going through I was right with her, like to a point where I wanted to. Yeah, me and that he was going, he was going toe to toe.
That was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. So you know, you really, really have to be careful with that. What do you
think? Do you think that when you are so tied with someone, you always are so tied with them, or do you think that it goes away?
I think you're not always so tied with them. It goes away. I feel as though, like you say, it depends on who you believe in. But with us, if you pray and fast and do the work that you have to do and cutting that person off, it does go away.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so. I feel like when you love someone, when you're so tied with someone, you love them, right? And I feel like at some point you are in love with them, whether it's a friend or not. You can be in love with your friend and not be romantic. You love them. Something happened to you tomorrow, you will be distraught. So I feel like in 10 years, whoever you felt like you were so tied, you're still going to have love for them. You might not feel as connected, but if something were to go wrong, I feel like it would pull at your heart, and I feel like it doesn't go away. Because all of those emotions would come rushing back.
That's why I said with the soulmate and soul ties, I feel as though it's a little different. With soul ties, like you said, you got a connection. So you still holding on to that connection. Because me personally, I feel as though you were soul tied to the narcissist.
No.
I really do feel as though. No. Listen, hear me out. Because you was like, because you said that this person, like y'all, you could feel
a hold on me.
He had a hold on you. You could feel what he
was. I thought he was the devil. 2 different things. I thought that he was the devil. Yeah,
but like you said, it was a connection that y'all had because y'all did connect.
It was more of a puppet,
but still, you was tied. You were kind of tied to him.
By the devil. The devil had me in the palm of his hand. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
But soul ties can be demonic. It can be love. There are different soul ties.
Really?
Exactly. So you're right. So you claim you are released from that dude, from him.
Yeah.
So you're not holding on to that. So I do think that you can break away from soul ties.
Okay. Clocking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Because you have grown, you have evolved. He come around down that street.
Yeah. Peace. Chucking the dudes.
Yeah. So for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. See,
what you got? What you got?
I have some. Okay. Let's see. What is the hardest thing that you have had to deal with, and how did you think that you overcame it?
So I will say the hardest thing I had to deal with, but I am still dealing with, is gotten better. It would be my last relationship I was in.
Okay.
He was my first relationship, and I thought that was like the end game. Like he was the one, because I dated before him, but like to be in an actual relationship, he was like my first one. So, but I knew when I got into that relationship, I ain't playing no games. We gonna do it, proceed. And it was like no, nothing shady or anything going on in the relationship. So when that ended, or when he ended it, it was like I was taken by a blindside, because how do you do that to somebody that you so-called love, or this, that, and the third, just to give up that easily and not give an explanation? So I dealt with that for like a while, and still dealing with like the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're going through now is the repercussions
Mhm.
of that happening. But when
Yeah.
you love someone, and especially like a first love,
Mhm.
that is hard to let go of. Like you
It
just
is.
don't just let go of them. That I personally feel like that's someone that you're gonna think about the rest of your life.
For sure. And it's a bunch of like emotions and roller coaster of emotions.
But you are coming out of it though.
I
I
am.
definitely see you coming out of it. I feel like sometimes you might have one foot in and one foot out. But I think you know what you have to do. Yeah.
For sure. And it's just, like my mom said, I think with certain things, I am trying to fill that void with certain stuff or people, and it turned me into a version of myself that I do not like, and I'm noticing, and I'm just like, who is this person?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not going to be the same person I was before that relationship, but I want to, even though I'm not going to get her back, but I do want to be a better version of her after this whole situation.
I definitely think that you can get her back. I feel like you can still be that person. You're just evolved. I feel like you sometimes might feel like you have lost sight of the old version of yourself, which is always there. It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's what you allow, to take over. And I feel like you just need to, remember that, you that girl.
I am that girl, and I'm starting to get back into that, knowing that I am that girl,
and just remembering yourself.
Yeah, it's just it takes like I said, things just take time. And it's been a year, and I'm still like feeling it, but I am starting to be okay with the decision that was made. I have came to acceptance with that, and I'm embracing what's new, and what God does have for me, and just
Well, I love that for you. I do love that for you. It might not seem like it's something, but I do. I do love it.
I thought I was hard on her. She is hard on me. She is very, very hard, but I know it's all out of love.
Yeah.
And just wanting to, just like she want to see me. I want to see her do better. She wants to see me do better, and it's just.
And I went through it, so it's like
right.
It's like all right, don't do what I just did. So,
but sometimes you gotta fall on your ass.
Yeah.
To
and
actually
that's okay.
know,
Yeah.
and it's okay because you gonna come out at the end of the day, and I know I'm gonna come out at the end. I always say, storms don't always last. There's always this rainbow at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be through it. You're not gonna be in it forever.
Yeah.
It might feel like forever, trust me, but it's not gonna be forever.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not trying to get too emotional, y'all, but hardest thing I had dealt with in 2023, I lost my dad. He was really sick. He was sick for years. So I think that watching him die, because I did. I mean, through high school, I watched my dad dying. And when that initially happened, we kept trying to prepare ourselves for it, but that's not anything that you can prepare yourself for. And I think that to this day, I'm not healed from it. I won't ever be healed for it. I grieve daily. I don't know.
Do you think you are grieving a healthy grieving? Do you think you are grieving properly?
No.
No.
Oh no. And I definitely think that this is helping me like reflect, think that I know that like therapy, I was so against it, but I feel like I do need it because someone that you've known all your life, a parent, I can sit here and tell you all these different things and how I feel, but you won't know until you go through it. And I don't want that to be anything anybody goes through. Like it's just that's like one of the worst things, that can happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've done a good job with being able to keep going. I always say I'm so resilient. I'm the most resilient person that I've ever met. And I feel like he would be proud of me just because I get up every day, I go to work, get up every day, I take care of my household with it just being me. I see my family and I'm trying to keep going. And I feel like I've also worked on my faith where I've gotten like
it came a long way with that.
Yeah, because at one point it was on a verge of me not believing at all.
Yeah.
And with my background of my family's religion and things of that nature, it was just like very, very rocky that I felt like I wasn't going to get out of it. But when my dad passed away, that was around the same time the narcissist situation happened, and I was literally at my rock bottom. And then at the same time, a long relationship that I was in had just ended 2 weeks prior to
that was crazy.
The death of my dad.
Like he legit planned it and was like, okay, yes. So her dad passed this week.
Yeah.
So next week I'm gonna go on here and we're gonna take her out, make sure she, kind of get her mind off of things, make her have fun, and that's what I'm gonna slide in. And he showed his.
Yeah, it was just so much going on at that time.
It was somebody that she would have never thought that she would, because every time we talk, him. No. So when that happened, I was like,
but I was at my lowest. I literally would say, and it's not an excuse for any of like the behavior that happened, but around that time period, that was like the worst thing I think I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah.
Like all of that back to back, a loss of a relationship, a loss of a father, and then someone playing with emotions with you all at the same time.
Ooh, that's a whirlwind.
So to come out of it, I feel more resilient than I've ever felt.
Like I said too, like after that whole situation, the narcissist situation, you didn't give your chance to really grieve the process of your dad or the relationship you had with your ex as well. And I think you are still dealing with that to that day. You are a lot better, I would say that, but you still have work to do, especially with the grieving of that lost relationship and the loss of your dad.
Yeah.
But not saying, you in a whole new relationship now. We applaud him.
Baby.
And my man, thank you to my man.
They're not saying that you don't love him, but you still have, stuff that you are dealing with.
Yeah, which I feel like, and he would understand, of course, like with, past things, we all have things that we carry to the next.
Right.
And there's things that happen in my old relationship that still will trigger me that, my boyfriend now, he doesn't know or, doesn't realize maybe. So at that time, there's just a lot going on, but
was a lot going on.
I feel good. I feel better. Things could always be better, but
things are perfect. But hey, that's all what you do in the end.
Yeah.
What is you having like advice for a person who lost like a parent?
I will say to pray. That's literally all I can say, because I'm not working on my own strength. Like literally, like with fighting anxiety and depression, something like that. And I'm going to be completely blunt and honest, will make someone want to kill themselves.
Yeah,
and I have so much to live for. Like I always think of my family and my friends, people that I do have, even if it's small knit. And I know my dad wouldn't want that. So if you are going through that, you need to take that as a motivation to do better.
Right.
You'd be like, you know what? My mom or my dad did not want this for me. I'm going to keep going because I know that this is what they would want for me.
Yeah.
That's how I do anything with my life.
Yeah. And I like that.
So that's just, I'm
proud of you.
Yeah. I'm not about to cry on y'all.
With being her friend and seeing her go through the loss of her father, I was there this whole entire way.
Yeah.
And like I said, he will be proud. She done kept her promise to him that she said he asked of her, and she's.
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
This is what you need, though.
Yeah.
This is also not only talking to a person is therapy, but this is also your therapy as well, to get through your emotions and how you are feeling.
Yeah.
And also with me, vice versa, to get through my emotions with how I'm feeling and what I've been dealing with. So it's okay. Like I said, you can't hold that shit.
I'm about to move on to the next question. Let's see. I think we have time for one more.
Wow.
Name one thing or one person that made you who you are today. This may may turn into something emotional and we didn't even expect.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ooh. I would say my parents.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, they really shaped and molded me into the person that I am today, because I am a very like close knit, like family oriented type of person, and I do take heed of what my parents do tell me. Yeah, I mean, like just like any other child, you hear them and it's like, bruh. But at the end of the day, they are looking out for like your best interest, and you just eat the meat, throw away the bone. But
you're such an old head.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you think about that logic,
Yeah.
okay, I eat it and
Yeah.
go about it. But but they are, they are very supportive. My mom is like my best friend. I can talk to her about anything with her, and she also gives me that good advice because she has been through these things as well. And as my dad, sometimes he act all hard and stuff, but he's like very like he's like me and my sister, we his girls,
his
and
babies. Yeah,
we are his babies. And I do one thing with my dad. He's like, it's easy to be a follower, hard to be a leader. And trying to be a leader is, I think I've instilled with in that, like I've always just been like that type of person to look out for any and everybody, what I'm saying? And that's either emotional or, just being there, like, person. So I just like,
they've definitely, with me being around for a couple of years, well, more than a couple of years, but have molded you. Like every day when I'm talking to her, I see both of them. I have never really had like intimate conversations with her parents, but I have talked to her mom enough to know that she's a spitting image of her. That's where she gets all of her information of any kind. She looks like her, she acts like her, she talks like her, everything. So I definitely feel like she's like your person.
She is my person for sure. Like I love my daddy too, but
of course,
my mom is definitely my person.
Yeah.
And she's like the voice of reason and like, okay, let me regroup and get this on out the way, because baby,
I definitely see that.
Yeah. What about you?
I definitely think that my dog, my sister, that's my road dog. Me and her have gone through literally everything together, and I know she's gonna watch this and she's gonna cry and she's going to call me.
Ahead, get your tissues, girl.
She's gonna cry, but that's my girl. She a long time ago, we lived together, just me and her. She was 18. I was in high school, and we lived together, and that's young to be, by yourself without parents and
taking care of a child.
Yeah, she took care of me, and she told me I didn't get these opportunities, so I'm doing this for you so that you can do better than I did. And that has always stuck with me. I have turned that into something more than what maybe she thought I would have. Like she always says, like, you're doing a damn thing. Like she always gives me, always gives me the credit that, and I feel like my sister is like, how your mom is, that's my person.
Yeah.
If something happened to my sister tomorrow, I'm wiping all this shit out. It's done, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she gives me the best advice. Anytime or anything I called her for. When I got in my bad car accident, I called her before I called 911. How does that even sound? I had to hang up and call 911 because I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
She called me the other day trying to look for you.
Yes, because yes, like that's my girl. Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. She has made me who I am today. She has gone through a lot of things that I didn't go through. So she's preventing me of the hurt. Yeah. So, she's wise. And everything that she tells me, I try not to take for granted. But yeah.
Yeah, y'all. Well, this went by like a breeze.
It did, and
I enjoyed those questions.
Yeah, I did too, and I feel better. I feel, I'm going to dwell on this a little bit later. So I don't know.
This is a good episode. episode 2,
Yeah.
and we will like more questions.
Yeah. If you guys like this and this kind of
and want to see more of it, let us know. Like we will do that.
Yes.
And we do not mind doing that.
And please, like, don't be shy to tell us how you guys feel or things that maybe are similar, or maybe something that we may have said that could have helped you or you didn't know about us that make you guys look at things differently.
Or if you have any advice for us with what we talked about, feel free to put that in the comments. We will be reading them, like I said. And, just like I said earlier, eat the meat and throw it away.
But we do love you guys. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. The link is in the bio. And don't forget to see us next week on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
See you later.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not a